Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey! I am Cinnamon Cooney. I'm the Art Sherpa. And in about an hour I can show you how to do the Spooky Hollow. It's a step-by-step process. I'll show you each step as we go. Grab your brushes, grab your paints, grab your friends, come back, and we'll do this together right now. It's Cinnamon Cooney, your Art Sherpa. Out of breath because I danced across the room. Yes, I am working on getting in Sherpa shape. Doing all those healthy lifestyle changes, but I'm learning about it on YouTube. So that's the important thing. Thank you to all you other YouTube content creators creating all these fabulous health and wellness programs. I actually really love them. I've got my beverage today. I've got my spooky palette. I don't know how long the spooky palette's gonna work, but I love that we have a spooky palette. Today on the spooky palette, we have, what colors do we have? We have phthalo green, cad red, phthalo blue, yellow oxide, burnt sienna, which by now you figured out is just raw sienna with a little bit of black, cad yellow, black, and titanium white. Yes, the white matters. And of course, this is that Mars black that we're always using because that's a nice true black. I got my cups of water. I have my mister. This keeps my paint from drying out. You guys ask about that a lot. And remember, you put it in one of those cake trays that you get from the grocery store. Paint will stay fresh overnight. Just mist it a little bit. Put a wet paper towel on the side. Store it. You're all good. Okay, now special tools we have for today. Toothbrush. This is the beginning of a set of skills I'm going to teach you. Ooh, my new hat. This is the beginning of a set of skills that I'm going to teach you so that you can get things like waves, snow, and stars in a really expressive way, and also is very good for sand. This is a terrible thing. My daughter has taken to putting toothbrushes in the toilet, the youngest. So I find my toothbrush collection for the art studio is growing and growing because I don't really believe that I'm going to get that toothbrush clean again once it's been in the toilet. So every once in a while you can hear my kids. They're being supervised though, no worries. And here we go, the close-up cam, putting that in there so we can see what's happening on the canvas more close-up. Palette going. We've got a nice little filbert, which is the round 1-inch brush. I have my 1/2-inch brushes, a number 6 square detail, a number 4 square detail, and then a number 14 and a number 16 filbert. That's just what I'm doing today. These should be enough to get us through our little branches. You might want a pointed detail brush, you know, if you get that in your packet. And let's get started. So here is the deal. We're doing our Spooky Hollow. Fabulous painting. I love this painting. And it's going to teach a bunch of landscape skills that I see you guys wanting to have. We're going to expand on some of those twiggly branch skills. And we're going to learn about object layering and how things are brighter when they're closer and they're grayer when they're further away. So it's going to be great for beginners. Great for new artists, but hopefully you have done a painting or two with me in one of my other videos. So like if you've never ever painted before, it would be good to do some of the other paintings because we cover some of those basic fundamental first skills and then come back and do this one. Or do this one a couple times, either way it works. I just don't want you getting into something and getting the crazy idea you can't paint because we know that's not true. Because what do you need to paint? You need big P, perseverance, big D, determination, and that turns into big T, talent. That's how that works. I'm not going to use my bubbly thing for paint water. Now I'm going to come up to about 1/3 of the canvas, and I'm going to make just a little blue line across it. That's going to be essentially my horizon line. So I know everything up here is kind of sky and everything down here is more up close objects. And that's the room I have. This is a general thing. I don't have to be that specific about it, but if you're very stressed about it, I understand. Now, if you have phthalo blue and cad yellow, you can mix them together to get a phthalo green or something close approximation to it, and then add black and white to get the background. We're going to just basically take the phthalo green, get a little, not that much black, no, not that much black, a little bit of black in the phthalo green, and we're going to grade out. I'm going to get a little white, okay, graying it out. And our, up at the top of our sky, okay guys, we are going to want it to be its darkest. Okay? That is the darkest part of our sky. And in general, when painting skies, if you apply this fact, when you guys are doing blue sky or whatever sky you're doing, if you remember up here at the top will be your darkest color. Then, oh, do you love my Halloween spooktacular bubbling? Yeah, it's spooky style. Spooky style. Heart party spooky style. Mixing a little black in there, getting a little white. I'm going wet into wet on the flat of my brush. Pulling the brush at the metal. Making sure I've got good paint management, right? Graying my color a little bit. Look at that. These little streakies, as I'm going, are going to help make it look like a, you know, a good sky. All right. And that's going to be fantastic. All right. Hope you guys are loving my new goofy intros. I'm trying to just be goofy and have fun. So you guys remember that art is fun. It is not serious, stressed out business. Okay? Thank you for sharing your artwork with me. I love everything that I'm seeing on Facebook. It's amazing. I love the shares. Please keep doing it. 270 something pins on Pinterest right now of you guys sharing artwork with me. I'm getting more white as I go. See how I've lightened the sky a shade? And I'm blending wet into wet. So how do I get this nice blend, guys? I get the nice blend because I'm working very quickly, and also because there's enough moisture, CV dip, and enough paint on my brush. That's the trick to make it work. Okay? So now we've got this grayed out green, and that is the trick for this nice spooky hollow painting, is this grayed out green. Bubbling over there, but it's not smoking, so I don't really understand that. I guess the water is not. Oh, okay. So they've left me with the dry ice experiment, and you don't really know how that's going to go, right? Now I picked up a little bit of a darker color there and blended it in. See, I've got enough paint. I'm blending on the canvas. And here's the other trick. Right here, my shoulder, square it up. Lord knows I can be square. To the canvas, painting level. Your dot metrics printer, if you're old enough to remember what those are. I don't really know what the young person equivalent of that is today. I'm sure somebody will tell me. Just keep it level. Water, skies, keep it level. When you're trying to paint any of that, that's what you want to do. Okay, it's wonderful. And I'm getting real light at the horizon. Now you see I'm coming in and getting this white. And I'm getting real light at the horizon. Okay? All right. Beverage. I'm not drinking this. This isn't happening. Oh, some of my spookiness is not as spooky. Spook it up again. I lost my spookiness. That's a bummer. Oh, I'm looking right at you, willing art into you. Willing art. I'm gonna rinse out my brush before I do my little ground up front. I'm letting this dry a second and say to you, where's your art? It's in your heart. Van Gogh believed you had to paint with heart, that there was a type of soul poetry. I'm telling you it is. Art comes from the soul. Don't argue with soul. Soul is true. Soul is honest. Soul knows what it's about. Be nice about your art to yourself. I love how supportive you guys are on Facebook with each other. At the end of this, if you hang in, I'm going to show you in my Sherpa corner some artwork that people have been doing and talk about different artists, so you know I'm listening, and you know I'm reading, and you know I'm paying attention, because I actually am, and I really do care. Like, what's happening? I just heard from a Girl Scouts mom about some advice on art, and I'm going to stop and give that advice because it matters to me. The Girl Scouts get to paint. It does. All right. So now I'm going to do this up foreground, and what I know about this is I'm going to add a little bit of the burnt sienna to the green. That's very nice. And I'm going to go darker again. I still want it grayed out. But this is my foreground. Now I might gray that a little bit more because it is further away. And I want it to get darker. I want it to be different than the sky. I'm going to have some grass and stuff come up out of this. Right? I want it to be darker than the sky. Brighter and more vibrant, but it still needs to be a little grayer at the horizon. There's going to be grass blades and some things here, so try not to get too wound up over this space. I know sometimes it's hard for you guys. Just try. It's a goal. It's not a commandment. It's just a goal. Alright, see, there we go. And I like to, not necessarily, and hopefully you can see this on my brush, not mix. See the variables of the paint here? I am allowing things to mix on the canvas. I do, if you follow me, you know I jury into fine art shows, okay? And I paint, and I have paintings that I take days on, and a lot of what my long years of art experience has taught me, don't mix the paint on the brush. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let it be. 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 Hear these words of wisdom. Let it be. Oh yes, you should sing in your art studio. You should have music in your art studio. I don't have it playing while I'm painting with you because you guys have to hear me teach. But when I'm on my own, I do have music. See, I'm getting darker and more vibrant as I come forward here. Alright, now I have pretty good coverage with my paint. Why do I have good coverage with my paint? Enough on my brush. I have enough moisture. And I'm painting with a heavy-bodied professional acrylic. If you're painting with a student acrylic, you might run into some opacity problems, which is just too translucent. It's too see-through. Okay? Couple of solutions. One is you may need 2 coats on your background painting. You may need to do this twice. Sometimes you can get more coverage if you add a little white to your paint, because there's a lot of pigment in everybody's pigment line on the white. Okay, I got some just green and black on that one. See, so I'm creating these very vibrant, different tones here. Look at it again. Getting just more intense as I come forward. I am covering the whole canvas. You can see that. Alright? I am covering the whole canvas. I'm losing my bubbliness. We're losing our spooky style heart party. But we still have heart. And you guys really have some heart. I gotta tell you. You guys give your paintings to your family members. You guys give them to charities. Once you realize you can paint, you're like painting every day. We have a lot of people showing and selling and getting out there with their artwork now. Alright, so that's pretty good. Yeah, take a dance break, take a dance break. Gotta dance, gotta dance, gotta dance break. You should always take a dance break when you're painting. You should always take a dance break when you're painting, even if you have no music and you're crazy. Why should you take a dance break? Because you should be having a good time. Okay. Now let this dry a second. I'm going to pass some Sherpa wisdom on you. When I was in art school, and if you're lucky enough to get to go to art college, it's really spectacular. At any point in your life, I don't care when you get to go. And we'd be all in the studio working on something, you know, life drawing, which was just drawing a lot of different naked people with charcoal, which is so exciting at the beginning of the semester and not by the end of the semester. But there was always music going, and there was always fun. And sometimes when we get into the business of our lives, we forget the fun and have to talk to so many people. And you get on Facebook and you talk to me, you get on Pinterest and you share your lives with me, and you're fighting for your right to be happy. And I gotta tell you, I admire that, because you have a right to be happy. And happiness it's a valuable thing. Painting can help get you there. It's not the only thing, but it is a helpful thing. I love my spooky sound effects. Alright, twiggliness. Twiggliness. Let's talk about twiggles. Twiggles, twiggles, twiggles. Okay, so we're going to get over here. I'm going to paint in my background twiggles. What do you know? My far away twiggles should be lighter than my up close twiggles. So here is this brush. I'm going to paint on this edge right here. And watch. Just painting the thinnest little twiggly bits. So what do we remember about trees? Well, we remember that they're thicker at the ground and skinnier at the top. Wish I was. Thicker at the ground, skinnier at the top. Okay? They branch out. They have little wandery bits. They are not straight. They're unruly, unpredictable little bits of creation, okay? Practice these brush strokes. Painting on the edge here. If I push harder, the stroke gets thicker. The lighter my pressure is, the thinner the brush stroke. So we're back to that wet cat pressure I'm always talking about. Happy cat that's just fed. How hard can you pet them? You can pet them and pet them and pet them. You just took the cat to the vet and gave it a bath. How hard could you pet that cat? Oh, I don't care where you live in the world. You know, you can't pet that cat. That cat is going to hurt you. And they can. I love cats, but the cat will tell you that. No. So just imagine that your canvas is at that, or you can imagine a sunburn. If you've ever had a sunburn. I used to just say sunburn, and then a whole bunch of people pointed out that I, with my fair and freckled skin, might really understand the sunburn experience, but that was not a universal experience. And I was like, oh, well, that's very true. But we've all dealt with the wet cat. We all know what those are like. We've all come into those. Maybe you live in India, well, Bengal tigers. You don't pet those. No. No. You leave that really alone. Just so glad I don't live near one. Alright, so now I'm going to do my background branches, and I'm going to make a very, very light green-gray. Lighter than my little sky here that I've got going on. And I'm going to make twigglies. I'm going to start over here Let's see if I can make sure that is really on what I'm doing. Starting at my horizon line, I'm going to wander up, light pressure. I will even, if you see this, allow the lines to break up. That is because it's so far away, it has lost resolution. That's how I would say it to somebody, you know. It's so far away, it's lost resolution. When you guys are painting landscapes, and you guys often send landscapes to me that you're doing, these skills will really help you. Practice this set of skills. You know, our very favorite Mr. Ross spent a lot of time observing and practicing those art skills, and he realized that there were some truths about landscape that you could very expeditiously represent on canvas. And he shared that with us, and that was wonderful. I'm going to leave a little space right here where the trees don't get too crazy because I want to put a moon up there. Okay, so they're going to be here. They're not going to be too crazy. Another thing you might notice as I'm going, so I'm not all that concerned about this little area here because there's going to be grass and stuff and more stuff and more stuff. So I don't really have to stress on it too much. I'm going to enjoy my twiggliness. Some of my trees will be heftier and more interesting than others. Every time I do these paintings, you know, we are not copy machines. We are artists, all of us, creators, inventors, thinkers. If you're thinking about doing this with your space, you're probably an open-hearted person who just wishes to put good into the world. It's my experience of artists. People who want to create and make, they're just trying to make the world they live in more. They're not subtractive people. They're not trying to take away from the world. They're not trying to make the world angrier, lonelier, more divisive. They're trying to show the beauty that they're seeing. And sometimes even if they're showing something that's not beautiful and they're trying to get us to pay attention to it, they're trying to get us to pay attention to it with our hearts so we can really see it as it is. Special stuff. I love that people from all over the world paint with me because no matter what, I hope we never forget that we are all family. Alright, so then I'm going to get a darker green now. I'm going to get my brown green going. Alright, it's going to be darker. And I'm going to get some more prominent trees going. This I might take him all the way down to the horizon line. I'm going to think about him. Make sure you keep enough moisture and paint on your brush. Notice what I'm doing here with these trees. And always practice your trees on paper if you don't have a lot of tree experience. Practice your trees on paper. Make sure that you have a sense of what you want to be doing with your trees. Yes, acrylic paint is very forgiving. You can always erase if you dry and then paint over. That's really all it takes. Just dry and paint over it. Don't try to fix it wet into wet. That is going to make you unhappy in every way. See how we're layering these twiggles in. Layering them in. I have one coming up here. It's going to go kind of like that. You know, we have another big tree. He's our focal tree. He'll be coming in. If you guys looked at the picture, the thumbnail, before you started, you know kind of where we're going. You might be going, I don't know if she's got a plan that's going to get us there, but I do. It's about layers. Layering. Object canvas placement. It's about layering. It's about Objects that are far away are gray, and as they come closer, they are more vibrant. Things that are farther away, less detailed. They're up close, they're more detailed, more vibrant. Kind of like our lives, things that are far away in our memories are not as detailed. Things that just happened last week, we're still feeling, we're still grinding our teeth over it. Don't grind your teeth over it, guys. Just let it go. Paint it out. Something has really upset you. Something has really worked your nerves and you're having trouble letting it go. Dude, take that to the canvas. Go freestyle on it. Just whatever you're thinking, just get it up there. You may not like the painting when you're done, but the shocking thing is, you will feel better. If you're a very young person and you are just really having a hard time, I can relate to that. I had that in high school, of course, being a free thinker. That's always so celebrated in youth culture, is individuality. I could take it to my art. I could put it there, get it out of my heart, that anger, how I was feeling. You put it in the canvas and it'll stay there. Doesn't have to get better later, it can get better now. Right? Painting can make things better today. You can start to release it and let it go. And you know what's weird is you can tell people how you feel with your words. They don't hear you. You can show them with your tears, but they don't see you. But when you paint your pain, when you put it in a picture, people hear it, see it, and feel it. All of a sudden it's real for them. So I know when I was in high school and I was having a hard time, I could put that into a canvas and it would really, really reach people where they got it. Poetry was a little bit like this. I've noticed musicians have this power. These arts that we do, it's how we authentically communicate. It's soul. We don't argue with soul. Soul tells the truth. All right, so we got this here. Now, grass. Grass, 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 grass. Grass, 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 grass. There's my little one looking for me. She has care. She does. She's the most magical person in there right now. All right, so we're going to go like this. Harder at the bottom. Oh, I don't know if you're going to get to see her. She's going to make the camera. But Greta, my new furry family member, has just walked in. I don't know if you... Hi, Greta. She's awesome. She's German Shepherd. She's so very German. She is. She's just fantastic. She's like a real German Shepherd. Like the dog speaks German. It's very cool. All right, so let's get some. I'll gray this green out a little bit. I feel like graying it out a little bit for this grass. Okay. I'm gonna put this kind of grayed out green. And I'm going to visually kind of break up stuff. Break up my eye line. Notice it's just these little brush strokes. I'm just trucking along, doing my thing. Making little brush strokes. Have fun with it. This honestly is just... This is the art therapy right here. These little dashy brush strokes making grass. Oh my god, landscape painting. It'll just take you away from it all. And that's why I'm going to be teaching some of these skills, is because I'd like to get us where we could do some plein air painting art party classes, where I could go on the road around the world and we could paint some locations. I could teach you guys how to turn those vacation memories into vacation art. That is super fun. We have a heart party viewer in Hawaii that I hear from a lot. And I always think, man, is it her? Do some paintings over there. Of course, then heart party would be filmed out of Hawaii because I would never leave, ever would I leave Hawaii. I would not leave Hawaii. Alright, so some of the things that you've seen me do with my grass here, I'm going to show you some more examples, is what you might be tempted to do is go like this. make these little neat things. But what you want to do is break it up. Change directions, change style. Even if you're type A, and you guys know I love type A, I do. Break it up. Break it up. Your eye needs it. That's where the order is actually in the disorder. That's how you get the look. So not this. No. Right? Not that. We're not making train tracks. Okay. So now I've got to make another layer of grass that's darker. Do you see the details? This is a little more reality than you might want. It's the details. I will it to you. I will you into the details. Okay, back to the painting. Now that I've completely spooked you out. Freaking my heart party viewers out going, oh God, no, this woman is mad. So, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for coming by Facebook and sharing with me. I appreciate it. I do. Alright, the darker color. Now this I will allow to come down a little bit past the horizon line because I'm trying to create the layer. Okay? Get some of that brown, get some of that green, a little bit of black. Darken this up. Alright? I'm not painting over what I had before. I'm putting a harder pressure on this because I am erasing my obvious horizon line. Because you don't want like a line there. Nature doesn't do that. It breaks it up. Camouflages things by breaking up the pattern. That's how camouflage works, right? So some shorter, some longer, different directions. Have fun with it. Learn how to do it. It's just a skill. It's not a talent. It's a skill. Like typing. You can learn it. It may not be easy for everybody, but it's doable for everybody. And eventually, anyone can be good at it if you put in the time. Do the cry. Okay. So me breaking up that. This is what's going to impress your friends. Now sometimes I'll pick up some of the lighter tone. And here's what I do. Remember Bob used to say there's no mistakes, just happy accidents. So like I'm painting along and a little bit of the white colors there and it picks up on my brush and then I just work with it. See that? That is what decades of art experience give you. Is when it gets there you're not like, oh God, oh God, oh God. There's some white, I'm like, oh good, white paint, lovely. Lovely. And I'm able to do that a little bit in life too. I learned some of this stuff I'm able to do in the studio, I'm able to apply to my life. Look. If I don't have to freak out about it in a painting, I don't. There's no point. It doesn't help me. Being angry or upset while I'm painting doesn't make me paint better. The painting might make me feel better, but like if I'm painting along and the trees ain't going well and I get really, really mad, that's not going to get the good tree out. Okay? Calming down, letting it go, drawing it, and just doing the steps is going to get the good tree out. In life, if you don't have to get mad about it, don't. It doesn't help. Panicking that you lost the keys will in no way find the keys faster. That same breathing technique you use to get through a difficult part of your painting will help you find those keys. I mean, it is amazing how much the stuff that happens in here applies to out there. These are life skills that you learn in the art studio. There was a psychological study done about this. Artists have a unique set of psychological resiliencies that help them in life. Yes, I wear a funny hat. Yes, I'm a complete goof. But I wake up happy about it and I go to sleep okay. I am enjoying myself. Right? I'm having a good time. Now, you know how I liked running into a little bit of that light color? Watch this. I'm going to go get a little bit of my light color that I have saved over here. And I'm going to throw a monkey wrenching into it, and I'm going to dance here with my little grass. That's what this is. I'm going to show you again here. Now it's sticking. I'm dancing with my little, it just looks like a mess here, and yet when it's on the canvas, it's so nice. Dancing with my little bit of grass, having a nice time, painting with you, because I am. Okay, you can tell I have kids because I sing everything. Weird. Alright. Look at that. Horizon. That easy. Oh. Alright, moon. Oh. I almost forgot the funnest part. Stars. The thing I was going to show you. Into clean water. Get your brush. Dip your brush into some clean water. Pick up a little bit of your white paint. Okay. Come back here. Flick. Stars. Yeah. Could do it earlier in the canvas. Probably. Normally in the paint, I just got to having a good time, and that happens. You just I'm having a good time. But you just get this up here. If you feel like you lost some of your branches, some of your darker branches, you can always come back and put them back in and bring them forward. Now normally you would do that before you put in any of the trees. I just, you know, again, I'm just an artist. I'm not like just a regular person who loves to paint and helps other people paint. I am a Sherpa. Doesn't mean I don't take a detour on occasion. Sometimes it is the little weird turns on the trail that make the journey interesting. Again, and see, this is what I mean, art resiliency. It went in a slightly wrong order. Do I freak out? Do I go, oh no, I've got to film again? The only reason I film again is like because sound was off, or it's something catastrophic that we just can't get around. It does happen to us a lot more than I would like, but you know, what are you gonna do? Alright, so you see I've got my branches, my foreground branches back in, and it's pushed my little stars back into the sky. So we're okay here. We're all good. Everything is as it should be. The layering is fine. Alright, so moon. We have our stars. Trick, while I'm thinking of it, because probably some of you are sitting at home looking at your toothbrush that you grabbed from your child or from somewhere, the icky toothbrush. Trick it. Well, guess what you should do before you do it on your canvas? You should do it here. You should do the flick here. Make sure it's working for you. Make sure you're loaded. You can flick twice here, but flick, flick, and then flick. Right? Like I'm flicking up here. Flick there and flick, okay? So the trick to this flick is your brush needs to be a little bit wet, but not like drip, 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 or you're going to get a spatter. Don't panic if you get a spatter. All your friends will love spatters. Like a huge amount of my fine art is spatter based. I can directionally put a spatter anytime I want. People think it's so accidental. It's not. It's tactical. Here's the deal. Practice before you put it on your canvas, because I know you guys freak out. You go, oh my god. First of all, it's fine, dry it and start over. But practice first. Get it up there. Get a spray. Master this, because if you master this with me, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to paint a wave with you. I'm going to show you a translucent, cresting, crashing wave that you can do as a beginning artist. That's going to happen. So work on your spatters. You're going to need them for our Christmas episodes. You're going to need them for our water episodes. You're going to need them anytime we have a beach. So work on them. Okay. Now, through the magic of the hairdryer, if it is plugged in, How it was supposed to be. Alright, rinsing out my little brush. You're noticing I'm doing a lot of the painting with this. This is by Fundamentals Creative Mark. It is a size 6 shader. Very squared off clean brush. So I'm going to get a little of my white paint and a little bit of this yellow oxide. Get a little bit of your green. You don't want it to be too true of a color. It will be a little off in your sky. And today's moon is going to be brought to you by the letter C. Now what can you do if you don't feel like you've got good brush control? Right? You can rest your hand on the canvas to get control over what it's doing. Okay, and once I have that in, get a little bit of this. I'm going to dry it off on my paper towel. I'm going to make some very soft, this is a very angry, dangerous cat. We now may be at Bengal tiger level of pressure. I have found a wild Bengal tiger who may or may not be suffering with zombie cat disease. How lightly would you pet it if you must pet it? Probably pretty lightly. Okay, so you've got your little moon happening here. And I want you to grab a little bit of your white. Very lightly. Give your moon a nice little white highlight. With the pure white, it's really going to pop. You still want some of that gold to show. Okay, this is about being paint dry. Put some of these white highlights in this little U. You see that? This little U under here. And that's going to feel like moonlight dripping down. Okay? On here. Sometimes I get a little crazy with my hats. But that is the basics of the sea moon, okay? Now is the fun part. All right. The pumpkin does not require drawing. It just requires squishy circles. Pumpkins, as with all squash, are hot messes. So this is an area for which you could be very forgiving of yourself and your drawing skills. In fact, it may even be a benefit. So we're going to place them in first. I'm going to sketch them in with white chalk. I'm going to give you a drawing example here on my piece of paper. And then I'm going to just put them in. Okay? So I'm going to give you lots of opportunity. Watch me, I'm going to misting my paint so it stays wet. So first, I'm going to show you basically what we're going to do here. Basically, maybe I'll use this. Okay. Our guy has this big sort of pumpkin at the bottom. Okay. And then there's sort of a smaller pumpkin for the middle. That's just the circle. Notice that this circle is into this circle space. So when I draw it, and I'll show you when I get my black line out what I'm going to be doing with paint. And then the head is bigger again. Okay. Now in gesture, what I want to do is make sure that I've got this as the gesture of my drawing. If you're studying art, that's what you are thinking about. Now I've got a hat, and its gesture continues out this way. When they talk about gesture drawing, this is some fine art wonderfulness. What they're saying is it's not a stick figure. It is what line, what overall lyrical line does the drawing make? Our pumpkin guy makes this curve here. And that really helps us place our hat. So this is our little curve, and then we know our hat. So our hat has a bit of a round bit here, comes up with a break and goes back. Sort of just a messed up triangle. Then the brim comes around. I like to curve it up because I just like some weirdness with everything. Okay? So when I go, I'm going to show this with a Sharpie. Let's really put this in. Alright. There is an overlapping with these objects. This is a little bit wet, so it's messing with my Sharpie. I'm going to put my eyes in. This one, this, and this one will be bigger. And then kind of went a little funny with this one. You know. And then we've got a little pumpkin friend that's going to pop out. And its gesture is much more this way. And so it comes up like this. And then it has a little round friend peeking out. Okay, and a little stem, a little stem. That is the basic pumpkin arrangement. And I may go do a good sketch of this and put this up on my Pinterest page. Probably under Heart Party Direct. So that if you want to print it out, if you're just having a panic attack, though I highly suggest, trust yourself, draw it, enjoy it. It's the journey, not the destination. As long as you get to the end of the painting or at the top of the mountain, the view is going to be good. And every time you hike, it's like getting in shape. You're supposed to get better at it. Now, that's what the people at the gym keep telling me. If I just keep going, it's going to get easier. I'm telling you the same thing, and I'm trusting, based on my art experience, these people are not lying to me. Oh, so. Alright. So my pumpkin, I know like I need about this much room at the bottom. So he's going to start here. And maybe 3 fingers over from the side. So I've got to have about that sort of placement. Because I want to have room for my tree. Right? And I know I've got this gesture happening here. Those of you in art school are like, oh, gesture, I get it. Okay, smaller circle. The torso is smaller. And then the head, bigger. Hat, hat. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. And how I'm going to paint that in is I'm going to paint in acrylic paint. If you paint watercolor, you paint something else. In acrylic paint, as long as it's a good professional paint, generally I like to paint the darker colors first and then add the lighter colors. Obviously that's not always true because we have landscaping rules, things that are far away are great and do brighter. But in this particular case, for this pumpkin, I'm going to go my darkest color to paint him in, or her in, and then lighten it up. How do I get the darkest color, you ask? Oh, it's so wonderful. You will love it. Alright, so I'm going to come here, and we're going to use contrast to get our darkest color. And so I'm going to get a little bit of this green. I'm going to take it over to my red, and I'm going to mix them together. Because green is red's contrast. And so what they do is they make one of the grays or neutrals. And this is the darkest color of my pumpkin. And you'll notice that, let's see if I am, gosh darn it. Hopefully you can see the sketch on the other one. I'm still getting used to the up-close camera. You know, it's a moving target for all of us. Alright? So I've got this right here. Okay. Now I'm going to use a little bit of my black and red to go right here and just pull down about 1/4 of an inch of a shadow. Okay. I may even let that curve around here. I'm just trying to show that I've got some difference between, like, I'll even do it right here where I've got the top pumpkin. And let me sort of sketch this guy in, just in case you're having trouble seeing him on your computer. Right? And then like this. So that's what I've got. And then I'm going to have this hat that does this. Okay. But see, I'm so confident I just like sketch things in with pigs. I'm like, ah, it'll work itself out there. It really does. If you just stay at it and mess with it. This is the red and green mixed together inside the black and red right here that I'm doing. Having fun? panicking. Hopefully having fun. Hopefully having fun with friends and family. Enjoying your art experience together. Okay, so that's the basic pumpkin. And then I'm going to need his little friend right here to come out. Right, and we remember that that sort of has this gesture to it. So our little pumpkin here, we can come up and have a little thing, and we're lining these sort of up. And then he's got that little friend peeking out, little squished friend. And this is sort of like one of those longer squishy pumpkins. And go, you have a stem, and you have a stem, we all have a stem. With my Oprah moment. Alright, same thing. Take a little of this with a little of the black, get a dark color, darker than everything else you're painting with. To get this sort of outline, especially right here where the two are overlapped. Because you're trying to give the illusion of object placement. Trying to say that there's a shadow between them. There's darkness between them in this super adorable dark pumpkin forest. How's that looking? That's looking pretty good on the up close cam. I'm trying the up close cam because on the I'll See Now, which you guys are doing so well, and I'm going to show you some examples of some of the artwork I've seen that people have shared with me. You guys are doing really well with that. Is the eye bugged everybody because they couldn't really see it well enough. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see how could we solve that. And then we decided that what we needed was this detail cam. But I'm still learning how to operate it. So this is that red and cad red and phthalo green mixture. When I say phthalo blue, I mean phthalo blue green, not phthalo blue red. Sometimes some of the paint companies will give that to you. When they say phthalo blue red, it's really so close to ultramarine blue, you might as well just ultramarine blue. And has all the problems that I don't really love in ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue has purpose, sure, but it needs to sit in the corner and mind its own business. Alright, we're going to put it in our hat. If you happen to have blue, you can use it. If you didn't, put it out, you don't have to use it. I like to use it. I'm going to mix it into my black. A little blue into my back. See how I do my paint management? A little white. I don't want it to be totally, I want some of these highlights to show. Right? And this, right, is this. And then it's going to come up. Okay. It's they worry so much about the kids making noise, the dog. I don't really care. I know you guys don't really care. Nobody really cares. But it's sweet that they try. Alright. I'm going to go up about an inch here. And I'm going to swoop down with my brim and come up. Because I like a curved brim and meet it over there. And again, you'll have this drawing on my Pinterest if you're like, I am not doing that. Now, to make sure that I know where my brim is versus my hat top, I'm going to add a little white to my paint for just right here. I will have to darken all this up. I just want to know where that is. Come back into my black and blue. That's very dark black and blue, which is really Payne's gray. I really hope you guys are loving these. I know you are. I've got people who painted everything I have up. I've told my husband we've got to get on a daily painting schedule, and he's agreed. I don't know how close we'll come to that. And then again, editing is still the speed of editing, because in real life I have a job where I create video games. It's very time consuming, but that's where the paycheck comes from, so I gotta, make the world better with video games. Go figure. Come support my video games, Sticky Pigs. Out in 6 to 9 months. Be awesome. And of course, the Sherpa made it. It's family friendly. You know, it cares about what you care about. Truly, truly does. All right, we're gonna let that dry for a little while. Then we're gonna come over and we're gonna think about the tree. Oh, the tree. The tree. All right, I see that. All right. So trees. Trees are what? Trees are wider at the bottom, ever narrowing at the top. This is a dark forest tree, so it should be like bendy and twisted and entertaining. Have fun with it. Seriously, have a goof. Be like, I'm gonna give you a pretty tree, my pretty. Enjoy it. Have some fun. You don't have to do the silly voice, but you know. So, you know, the tree's gonna come up and bend and come up like that, and then I'm gonna have a trunk. See, and it's gonna get narrow and narrow and narrow and narrow. And I have branches that come off and get narrow. And what is the rule about branches coming off the trunk? They must be skinnier than the trunk. The branch has to be skinnier than the branch or trunk that it is attached to. Has to. Yes, I know in some parts of the world there are trees that break all those rules. But this is an evil, dark, hollow forestry, and it doesn't. It just obeys those rules. So if you're very nervous about painting it in with black, which is what we do first, you can sketch it in. I've got the camera here, hopefully seeing it beautifully this time. I'm going to also give myself about 3 fingers from the bottom and about a whole hand from the side. I want some room on my tree, just to know where it is. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to come up with my trunk. I'm going to make a bend out to the right, and then I'm going to go back to the left, and then here I'll go here, really to the right, and up, and off. Since I've done that, and I'm going to do this tree differently every time I paint it, so just so you know. It's your tree. What did we used to say? It's your world. It is your world. Literally, this may be my hollow, and this is my idea, and I'm sharing it with you, but at the end of the day, you live with this. This is your world. You have to make it what you need it to be. I think that's seeing it. I don't know if it is. Oops, nope. I want it to zoom in. Really on it. Alright, I guess it's as good as I can really get it. Okay. I don't know, my husband will do something funny with that complete word moment. Alright, you've got roots coming out, and I like my roots to run all the way to my pumpkin. So I go up a little bit, and I go down a bit, and I come here, and right here at the bottom, I'm going to come out. My roots must be smaller than my trunk. Okay? And then I know I'm going to want a root coming in this way. So I come right up here, make this line. Very, very twiddly. And I'm going to have some come off this way. I'm going to have it go off the canvas. It's very interesting when things go off the canvas. And then, of course, we'll want some twiggly roots happening off of these, because that helps it. And then we've got to have twiggly branches, and we'll paint those in. But first, we're going to get the base of it painted in. And the base of it is, again, I like to add a little blue to my black. I like it a lot. I think it keeps it vibrant and interesting. I'm going to use my 1/2-inch angle brush and get a little more black. I'll paint that in. Now this I don't lighten with any white initially. I want this to be very dark. This is a dark, twisted tree. Actually, it's just hibernating. I think the hollow should be a happy place where it's Halloween all year. A little Tim Burton-esque. We'd all want to visit. Alright, see, I'm using the edge of my brush to get that crisp line. But look, if you're stressed out, change brushes. Don't be freaking out painting with a brush that is annoying you. Okay, don't do it. If you need to paint with a little brush, just because I'm painting with a 1/2 inch, I'm not in your house. I'm not going to smack it out of your hand. And if I was in your house, I wouldn't smack it out of your hand. So that's how that is. Okay? I would just be like, go for it. Go for it. You can do it. That's like my whole thing. Whew. You know, the dry ice did not keep the studio cool today. No, it did not. It did not do it. Okay, so I'm going to come here. Change this base. Come in. Alright, need a little blue. Need a little black. Oop, grab some yellow, but I'm not going to stress on it. Did it intentionally, so you don't need to. So that's what I'm doing today. I feel like having a little branch off this one, and a little root off that. Alright, so I've got my taproots in, I got my big tree in, got to give it some branches. Gonna put in my big branches first. I'll switch to my smaller brush once those are in. Alright, so put this one in here and then I may switch to my smaller brush. Switch to my smaller brush. See? You just switch and you're ready to switch. Just do it. Just do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, I feel like I need a nice little branch coming off here and bending back that way. Trying to make sure they're crookedy. That is the big thing. I want a crookedy tree. No, a crooked tree. This is not the giving tree. Maybe it is. Maybe it gives candy corn. Maybe this tree told that kid, no, I want my leaves and my apples. And it's just having a nice hibernation where it is protected by the dark creatures of the hollow forest from greedy little children who would like to take all its leaves and cut down and turn it into a boat and a house. That's how my kids feel. We always read that book and we love it. But really, honestly, everybody's always upset that the kid didn't protect his tree more and didn't love it. Which I suppose was the intention of the story, right? Like that was totally cool. Now I'm going to need to have a branch here, and I'm going to need to have a branch here because I have to have space right here to hold my spider web. So this is important, and hang with me here. Okay, so I've got this upward branch happening here. And then I'm already going to go in and make this lower branch. Okay, because I'm going to need it. You can make these little weird twiggles that go odd directions. Always good. This is not a giving tree. This tree is like, no! Give you nothing. Give you some candy corn, kid. Step off. I'm a tree. Make air. Back off of me. I need to be a boat. Make your own. Make yourself happy. That's what you know, that is the enlightened answer from that tree to that kid. Just go make yourself happy. Yeah. Plan your day a little better. Intend, open your heart. Be the change you want to see in the world. Stop trying to cut me down, take my apples and run around. I loved you unconditionally. I still do. But I'm not going to be, cut down so you can feel better. Some of you are like, I've got some people in my life I need to say that to. Probably. You're never going to be sick enough to make somebody happy. I mean, sick enough to make somebody well. Poor enough to make somebody rich. Sad enough to make somebody happy. It's never going to happen. Absolutely be a kind, giving, contributing person in the world. But it does not help somebody to waste to yourself so that they can get by. It doesn't actually help them. The thing that will help people is that you shine. You show them how happiness looks. You show them how joy is. You are a lighthouse in the dark. That helps people. And remind them that they are a lighthouse too. Awesome tree. Loving it. Not a giving tree. Tree's not giving. Alright. So I'm going to put a little detail on some stuff back here because I need a little tonality. I'm going to get my little brush. I'm going to get my little brown and mix it back into my green. Get some gray. I mean some white here. Get in there. Maybe a little black. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to make some short little, you're not seeing that. We're going to focus back on the pumpkin. Okay, get some little tonality around our pumpkins a little bit. Paint around them carefully. You're just implying some ground texture here. You're just saying that this is not flat, devoid, meaningless earth. Get some brown, some black. This is stuff is happening. Come around this side, same thing. I want you guys to add a little depth and texture and a little more brown than that. Painting is really, really about layer, 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 layer. Okay. Now, grab your 1/2-inch angle brush. We're going to go wackadoo. We're going to have a blast. We're going to improve our ground texture up here. You're going to grab some of your iron oxide. You're going to come over this mix that you got. You are going to make, we're going to add some tonality and stuff. Very light, short brush strokes. Okay? And you're going to notice that again, not getting crazy. About the mix. Okay, we're just trying to, that's a little bright. Get a little crazier than that. Mix it into something darker that you've got going. This is when you just pick up bits of weird paint and just have a blast. We're just creating some, if you get something too dark, get a darker color and just go right into it and blend it in the canvas. It will blend right back. You're just, now I'm going to start curving these strokes. I'm going to get a little brown here into it. I'm going to start curving it like this. See those little curves? They're like little U's. Okay. A little brown, a little green, a little white. Okay. All the way through here, I'm going to improve my foreground texture. Get a little oxide, get right back into it. Come here, short. Now you can see it. Short little strokes. Don't take out your roots. If you do, you can always put them back in. Like if you get crazy and you take out your roots, you can put them back. You just want a little more brown. You just want some tonality here, trust me. That's what you want. Hi, Greta. May or may not see her. She's coming through to visit. Hello, Greta. Hello. We're such a good girl. Hopefully you can hear her. She's very sweet. I like her. It's good to like your own dog. She's awesome. Alright, that was a little brown, a little yellow. I'm making some lighter, little bits, light, as if I was putting cayenne pepper into the space. That's about how much I'm using, okay? And not like I'm from Louisiana. Not that there's anything wrong with being from Louisiana. It's awesome, okay? Seriously, guys, it's awesome. Just making sure I've got a little, darken that back up. It's too much. A little texture happening here. And we're going to add some more to it than this. We just want to make sure that we've got this here. You can add some back here a little bit if you want. We're just creating this fabulous, fun fall ground feel, which later is very painterly. Later is going to be awesome. You just see I sort of just mix up this brush stroke. Get very relaxed about it. I'm just like, oh, this is how I'm like. Woo, yeah. Woo! I'm having a blast. Alright. Now we could finish either the tree or the pumpkin right now. My tree is dry, so I'm going to go into my tree. And I'm going to give my tree a little finish. And the tree is real simple. It's just a couple shades of gray that I'm doing in little dashes up the trunk. And I'm saying, here is the moon, and the moon's light is shining. So it's going to lighten this side of the tree. If you're painting from vacations or you're wanting to paint landscapes, really take a minute. Stop worrying so much about a tree is here, a rock is here, a thing is here. And look at, and just take a minute, almost in a meditative state, look at where the light hits. Paint the light. Paint the light. Really experienced artists paint the light. And that's whether they're digital artists working in the gaming industry or whether they are fine artists painting landscapes. They're painting the light. You have to be able to do it. You've got to be able to do it. So I'm over here. I'm going to get a little of my blue, get my black, get a little white into it. I'm going to make a very dark gray. 50 shades of gray. I always make those jokes. But there are 50 shades of gray. You can see 10. I can see about 40. If you train your eyes, you could see about 40. Okay. Alright, I'm going to make sure that this is on the tree again. Seeing the tree. Alright, so what I'm doing is to about halfway in the tree, I'm going to leave a little bit of the dark black here at the side. I'm making little dashes. I'm making little strokes like this. Alright. And I'm following the direction of what the trunks would have. Okay. Alright, a little bit of this here. Coming down here. I'm going to do the main body of the trunk first before I worry about the branches. I'm just getting these little dashes in. I'm not, other than I'm creating lightness over here and leaving darkness on the left-hand side, I am not that stressed about it. Okay. I will get into some of the branches. Again, mine's here, so I'm going to highlight this underside. Oh, you didn't know I was going to do that. And the underside here. And the underside there. And I'm going to get a little more of that. And this inside, oops, a little lighter than I want. Darker, 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 darker. Not hurting anything, it's just a little lighter than I want. And then this inside of this branch. And then maybe a little of that. Underneath here. Underneath this little branch, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to highlight right here. Need to rinse out. Sometimes in these brushes, if they get a little thick to do the detail, what it is I have too much paint. And you're like, wait, what do you mean? Now there's too much paint on the brush? Yeah, you can have too much. You cannot highlight where it would be. So like a little bit here. But on this branch, maybe the top here. The top of this one. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm playing this game in my mind. Where would the light hit? And you can play that by using your brush and drawing a line down. Someone must be near our grass. She hates that. They're near our grass. We'll have none of it. Now right here, I'm going to make a much more specific sort of highlight coming up and almost making an outline of this root because I'm trying to define the shape of this root. Oh, fuzzy dog. She's going to tell him. She's going to tell him, don't you start nothing. You don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. Okay, so I'm just right here. Coming right here. Highlighting the top of this root. Okay. If you lose black that you needed, guess what? You can put it back in. It's not lost forever. Okay. Now another thing I can do in my gray, this lighter gray, is I can get a little of this yellow oxide and add it. What does that do? Well, that implies this weird little moon glow. It just takes a little bit, just a little touch. I'm giving you guys some more complicated stuff. You can keep it simple. This is like yoga, like I do yoga. I'm trying to do yoga, believe it or not. Bad at it. It's slow, but I show up. And I use my studio skills. I go, it's not about competition, it's about completion. I just have to finish this class. That's all I gotta do today is finish. Don't run out screaming. That's all I gotta do. Maybe in 6 months it will show. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it will only be evident on the inside. I have made good life choices. I don't really know. But I know it's good for me and it helps me, and so I'm going to do it. Alright, here I am coming up with my nice little highlight. A little bit here. And a little bit here, having a good time. Having fun. Are you having fun? I am having fun. This part, this is just nice, seriously. This will lower your blood pressure. These little types of painting things, don't even worry about like how it's really working out for you at this stage. You know, I mean, enjoy it, but seriously, it's sort of like my workouts. It's about invisible reward sometimes, and you just got to be like, okay, that's okay. It's good for me, makes my life better, makes me happy, know it's worth it. I love how the dry ice has bubbled the entire time we've been filming, but not like, we imagined it would like create this like film of smoke low to the ground and create spookiness, and it took us forever to get filming on this video because we wanted to do that, and then totally didn't do any of that. Alright, I want you to make this lighter gray gold color. And just right in this sort of little area here, in a couple spots. Look right here. We'll go dash, 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 dash. Make this little highlight. Right through my little root here. And then I'm going to skip over like 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to do it again. Skip over like 1/4 of an inch. And I'm leaving this darker gray area right here. And what that's doing is that's creating a little dimensionality to my tree. And then right here I'm going to make a little more dash, 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 dash. Not everywhere. Because what I'm saying is there's just some, see, it just gives it some dimensionality, and it's just nice. Couple spots, okay? Couple spots, don't go crazy. I feel like that tree is looking pretty good. That tree is coming together. You keep it your tree until you feel it's looking pretty good. It is, after all, about you. It's your journey. I'm a guide, but you're the one who's trying to make the climb. This is your spiritual trek. So make sure that you spend the time you need to with the piece to feel that calmness inside. Okay, that's what the goal is there's a calmness. This is why I think Bob Ross and some of the oil artists had this really sort of peaceful way of speaking, and because you're so zen, and it's the very act of trying to paint and talk that causes that. It's the Bob Ross effect, is what I call it. It's the Bob effect. Okay, pumpkin. Pumpkin, 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 pumpkin. Alrighty, ready. So we're going to do this bottom pumpkin first. And the first thing that we need to know is that he's got these dark ribs. So I'm going to get some of my black and some of my red. And I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to get a very dark color. Very dark, like what I have under here. I'm definitely going to go under here and strengthen that shadow. Okay. Strengthen up that shadow. Come in here, strengthen it up. And then about every 1/4 of an inch, right? We're going to say they start all here, right? We're going to have these little ribs. They're going to curve up and curve in. Maybe this one goes right up the center, curve up and curve in. Hopefully, oh wait, I'm doing it again. I'm going to repaint that. I'm going to just show it to you again because I forgot to move the camera. Alright, so I had created a highlight down here. Woo! Highlight. And then I came down here at the bottom and I've been making these upward ribs. Okay? Come around here, upward ribs. Alright? Upward ribs. And again, the wonderful thing about pumpkins is that they are hot messes. Alright, we're going to go to the next pumpkin. We've got this fabulous dark color. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to blow this out maybe in the middle and come up to the top where the stem would be. I'm just trying to say it's got some ribs. Okay. And then this guy's got some of these round ones. Don't really hit the face yet. You can do this upper one, but we're going to wait on the face because we've got some stuff going on there, obviously, because we've got a face. We're making these nice ribs. Just make them like I'm making them and they'll work out. Okay. And we know where they are now because we drew them in. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get a slightly brighter grayed out orange color. Slightly brighter. Orange color. Alright. And we're going to paint inside these ribs. And I'm going to have to go back and make some darkness down here again. I'm going to create some shadow. But right now I'm doing what I'm blocking stuff in. A lot of painting is about knowing how to block in and then paint out. And just being cool with that process. Right, you're just trying to create some layers of paint. These pumpkins, and this is a very important skill for you as you're painting, is you're growing those art skills, which you can do. All it takes is your perseverance and determination. That's really all they need. I know a lot of people who did not even have a Sherpa who just like, I'm just going to paint at 50 and that's what I'm going to do. And then they did. And they're in my art league. And they are awesome. Really talented. There was one lady who was just at a critique I was in. She's like 53. She just took up painting at 50, just took up art. She does cut paper collages. And honestly, her stuff was like the most popular stuff of the night. Of the night. Yeah, that's how that went. Because it was awesome. Okay, and now at this point, you've kind of got a sense of your pumpkin's ribbies. So go back in here. I'm going to get a little bit of my dark color again. I'm going to go in and get a little of my dark color. Right? Oh. DH, dear husband, has dropped some more spooky. Ooh, are we going to finish up spooky? Oh my gosh, I hope so. Back to the spooky. So I'm putting this little bit of shadow down here. I'm putting it down here to create weight, to create shape. And that is why it's here, and that's why it's there. I'm not painting out that much of what I have. I'm just a 1/4 of an inch. Just take this at a chance. If it gets away from you, don't panic. Just do what? Try it with your hair dryer. And do it again. Don't go running through the house screaming. will not help you with your painting or your keys. Sometimes it's good stress release. Okay, so I've done that darkness up there, all around in here, darkness right here. And the darkness down here. So I'm darkening the tops and I'm darkening the bottoms and I'm keeping these middles lighter. Okay. I'm going to do that a little bit here. Oh, wow, I love that. Bring that closer. Spooky. Right? Spooky style. Because, see, even doing this with you, I gotta have fun. It has to be a little bit of a party. You know? Hopefully, by the time this video is released, my new Heart Party song is on it. You guys are like, oh my god, I love your song. I totally wrote the lyrics to that song, and then Brian O'Neill wrote the music and co-wrote the lyrics for this one. And I'm excited about it. Super excited about to see what he does. Hopefully it's on here. If it's not, it'll be on an upcoming one. And you'll be singing it, and you'll be like, oh my god, it's a heart party. It's a happy little art party. And I'll be like, I know, it totally is. Alright, so we've got this sort of shape happening here. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. And I'm going to talk to you about Mr. Pumpkin Face. And Mr. Pumpkin Face, okay. Alright, so this eye is going to be smaller than this eye. You know why? Because this eye is farther away. Woo! You're learning perspective. We're going to do a wonky little smile. Again, this is your pumpkin. You can do it your way. You can make it really scary. Mine's a little childlike. Mine's a little silly. But yours could be anyway. And I'm going to draw in with chalk first so you can see it. Small little oval. Big oval. Okay. Little triangle. Alright. Oops, triangle wrong way. Triangle up. Okay, it's an upper triangle because of the skullness of it. And then I'm going to make a nice big smile coming across here on a curve. I know that I need a tooth down. And I know I need a tooth up. And so I know where that is. I'm going to get my detail brush right now. I'm going to get my black paint. And I'm going to block that in so I can start doing my upper pumpkin. Okay. I know this class is a little longer than what we do normally. Okay, I've got lots and lots of easy peasy beginning. But some of you guys are ready for some more challenging stuff. You're just really needing it. So we have to make sure that everybody has that room to grow that they need. So if you're watching this, like a lot of people just watch this, and you're like, no. Okay, try one of the easy peasy ones. Try the blossoms, try the sunflowers, try one of the little hoots. You know, give it a go. Trust yourself. There's a really good chance that disruptive art teacher that told you something cruddy and jerky when you were a kid about whether or not you were talented enough to be doing this, like that's real. Didn't know what they were talking about. I mean, I think you felt it at the time, but now you know it. Really seriously, should we be making any lifelong decisions about what we could do for the rest of our lives based on how we felt about things when we're young? And if you are young, don't make lifelong decisions about what you're going to do for the rest of your life based on how you feel right now. Give it some time. Put a pin in it. That's what I like to say. Put a pin in it. My husband cracks up when I do this. Put a pin in it. What a pin means is I'm going to deal with this later when I have more information. I'm going to put a pin in it and come back to it when I know better what I'm doing. Alright, so Mr. Pumpkin's face is blocked in. We're going to come and put his ribs in, which is the red and black. You can't see dear husband off screen is I'll tell you about it if he makes it work, or this may be the end of the video if this explodes, not kidding, and it's all over me, and then that's an outtake, isn't it? That's an outtake. Alright, so okay, we're here on the pumpkin face. I'm making the rib. And the ribs are closer together here at the bottom, and I'm just putting some of these in because I have to be careful. I don't want to lose my facial features to these ribs. right? And I'm going to allude at the top that I've got some of these ribs, but I'm going to be careful in the center. Okay? Okay, it is going to explode. Dude, it's going to explode. It's, whoa! Okay, well there's, I think it's just, ooh. Should I drink it? Okay, I'm going to drink it. I'm really afraid to drink it. Super yummy. Okay, this is so awesome. I make this at home. This is hibiscus tea that I make from scratch. Sometimes also known as Thai chai tea. Oh, so good. Can I have more? More. Creep it up. Creep it up. Creep it up. Creep it up. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. Oh my god. I totally had wanted this for my Halloween episode. I am afraid to drink it because I'm afraid my lips will get burned off by dry eyes, but it's so yummy. Okay, this is so fun. I know you guys would. Here, Kat, you do what you're doing. I'm gonna drink this for a second. You paint and catch up. Oh my god, I love this. This is the funnest thing. Have some more. Alright. Oh my gosh. He'll cut this down. We won't make you sit here and watch me enjoy this forever and ever and ever. I'm going to put this where you can see it. Can you see it? You can. My coolness now. Oh my god. I love my husband. That just makes it so worthwhile. Those little things he does. He really does some things. I'm going to put a little shadow right there. Oh, now you're just watching me. Come back to Mr. Pumpkinhead. Okay, we're putting a little shadow here. We're rounding out the face if we need to. I do. Putting some shadow under the hat. Put some of the shadow under the hat. And some shadow under the mouth. Yes, you want to shadow it. You do. Alright, so I've got the little face here. And he's a little more turned up than my original one that I did. Which you guys might have noticed on Facebook if you follow me. Or here in my preview. Alright, the next thing we know what we're going to do, we're going to make that slightly lighter dark color using contrast. We love contrast. If we were painting zombies, then that would be what we would do. And if you really want to paint zombies, some of the YouTube people who have little art lessons on here have a good zombie lesson. Some do. Nicer color there. Enjoying that experience. Alright, so, okay, he's in that stage that we have, if you've been painting with me, with pretty much everything. We call that the underpainting stage, where stuff that should be cute is kind of ugly. Don't panic, it gets better. So take some iron oxide over here and mix it in to this little spot here. It's okay if some of your contrasting color gets in there. And we're going to come in. And it's interesting, we're going to be painting out a little bit of the center lines that you painted in. Just to right about this outer one. And I'm going to come down. Okay, I'm going to let some of this dark, I'm painting a very light dry brush. And the reason I'm painting a very light, dry brush is because I want this darker paint to show through. I'm going to take out the center of that rib, right? And you may have to put some of your dark back in to rib it up. You may have to. And if you do, then you do. You don't worry about it. You just enjoy that you're getting some quiet time to yourself to paint. That's the whole reason why I have art carding. It's lovely that I get to teach you guys paint, but it's like a quiet time to me. That's wonderful. Alright, I kind of took a little bit of that out. So see, now I'm gelling out that shape. I'm gelling out that shape. Oh my gosh, this is like totally frozen the bottom of my glass. It's like totally, it's bubbling. Hibiscus flowers or himica flowers into your ombre tea. Not only really good for you, super yummy. Yes. Yes, that was a YouTube discovery. Thank you for asking. See, I watch too. I have stuff that I subscribe to. I've got my little health channels that I watch. My little cultured foods and how to feel better, and you know, because I'm a Sherpa in art, but some people are a Sherpa about food, right? Or they're a Sherpa about how to fix your dishwasher. That's what makes YouTube so awesome. I love it. We can just all come here and just share and learn something. And we can do it globally. And I love all my global viewers. When you guys get a hold of me and you're like, I'm in this whole different country than you, and I watch, I get so excited. I'll be like, oh my God, Deutschland, or oh my God, Taiwan, or oh my God, India, or oh my God, Algeria. I get really excited. You know, sometimes the news does not put the best face on people, and it's so wonderful to be meeting people from around the world the way that I get to. It's really special. You see how I'm doing that? I'm leaving these little dark lines coming down. If you lose them, just put them back. Remember, it's dry. What do? You come back and you paint it. You don't forget. You just do it. Alright, now, I'm going to paint in his face. Doing that dry brushing again. Got some ribs happening with him. I might need to put some back on his face because of just how he is. He is really just about working the layers and layers of color until you get him where you want it. Okay. Yeah, now I'm going to go back in, and I'm definitely going to add some dark back because I'm like, dude, I feel like I lost some of my dark on my detailing. See? Coming back with my dark. I felt like I lost it. Putting it back in. Okay? Now this gets to be funner. Now I'm going to mix some of my cad red over here with my bright yellow, which we've not been using a lot of. Okay? I'm going to come in. Just dustings of it, right? Just dusting. I'm going to dust here. Dusting it. Dusting it. Now this is that more complicated painting that you guys have been asking for. And this is how we do that. We just do everything we do on our simpler paintings. There's just more layers. And there's just slightly more considered placement of paint. Okay, now I am doing stuff like I'm tending to pay attention to where my ribs are and dust to highlight that, like I'm dusting to the outside edge here, but now I'm dusting to the left edge and a little bit there. But I am just emphasizing this pumpkin structure that I feel like I've got going here. I'm going to come here and get this outside edge here, maybe a little bit up here, up top with this nice yellow and dust light pressure. This is the trick of this. This is how you guys get this. And if you want to go on to those more advanced skills, you gotta work out this pressure issue. The internal pressure and the external pressure have to be resolved. They just do. In life, don't they? See, I'm just dusting. I'm really letting the paint layers from previous things stay there, be there. Okay, it's alright with me because I know what I paint out, I can paint back. I do. I know what I lose, I can put back, so I don't have to stress out on it. So if I lose something, I'm like, oh my god, I lost it, I needed it, it's fine, I'll put it back. Alright, so we got some more happening there. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Now, here's a little trick. This is going to blow your minds. We've got this little mouth here. I am going to take a little bit of my yellow, come over to my black, and I'm going to mix those again. Yeah, I am. Get that white in there and make this yellowish gray. And then, check this out, I am going to highlight the left side halfway of the eye. Then the left side of the nose. This is like a sliver. This is a sliver highlight. And if I over highlight it, I'll have to go back and put some black back in. And then I'm going to come under here on the mouth and I'm going to do a little highlight here. And then on this side of the tooth. And then on this side of the tooth. Maybe the tops. Okay, I got a little too much going there, so I'm going to come back and I'm going to paint some of that out with black. And it's good for you to see me have to do that. I have to do that still, painting for years, and sometimes I'm like, oh, no, don't know what I was thinking, never mind. I left some of it, but not all of it. Okay, now clean up that mouth. Look at that. That is the face taking shape, right? And you're like, what about the arms? We don't get to the arms until these pumpkins are all done. Okay, now you're going to get a little bit of just your yellow ochre. Guess what? I'm going to be dusting my shape just a little bit. Okay? Trying to help define these center bits. Just some, not everything. It's about this multi-tonal, give me dusting here. Dust where I dust and you will be okay. But you know what? There's a term called sandboxing. You use it in digital art a lot and in video games. If your child plays Minecraft, it's a sandbox game. It means there's a bunch of tools and you do what you want with them. Art is the ultimate sandbox. Get your tools, screw around. When you're like in the sandbox as a kid, did you like just freak out over your castle every time? Or did you just like build it? Some kid would destroy it, then you'd build it again. The trick as you get older is to retain the child within, like that childish love of life, while garnering a little bit of wisdom so you don't kill yourself. That's really all it is. You don't want to get so jaded and so sad with life. And life can do that to you, man. You guys share some stories of some stuff that's happened to you and that you guys are positive. It's impressive. It's not easy everywhere for everybody. It's just not. It may not be easy for you. Might not be. Alright, now I've done that. I'm loving my pumpkins today. Very pumpkin-y. He's very pumpkin-y. I'm going to get some just, ooh, and this is the pop right here, some just cad. Just cad. I'm listening to my stuff. I hope my glass doesn't break from the panicked a little bit, but having fun. Okay, putting some of this cad in. Right? So this is just straight cad red. Necessary, guys, to have it be cad. Especially in this green environment. That's just color theory. If you remember a really fun artist, Thomas Kincaid, someone I actually have met, somebody that actually I weirdly admire. I do. Amazing artist, really talented. And he figured out how to reach a lot of people with his art. Made some beautiful stuff. And he really paved the way for artists to make a commercial living. It's not that I don't think fine art isn't fantastic. I do. It can be very hard to live on a fine art living. And having the option to say, all right, I'm going to be a commercial artist, but I'm not going to work for a card company is pretty terrific. Just straight up. All right. I'm going to just enjoy this. If you can hear her little pads tapping through the studio. Greta's back. I love that she just checks on all this. She's like, I don't know what's happening in this house. Filming all the time. It seems to be quiet time. And I swear this dog is awesome. She like totally knows it's quiet. She's really actually not barking as much as usual. Alright, now I'm going to make a very light orange yellow and do a final highlight here, and then we're going to put in some grass details. We're going to put in our little tops here and some little squigglies. We're going to highlight up here. We're actually getting close. If you're tired and you're hanging in with me, I really appreciate it. It's a little longer than our other ones. Yeah, we're getting there. We're nearly there. Hang in to the end. Click, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Go to Facebook, share your art. I pin it. I comment on it. Try to comment here. I'm going to show you some art at the end if you hang in. And then, of course, don't forget my husband does those outtakes where he makes fun of me. He's pretty good at it. I'm going to come over here and mix my red into my yellow. A lot of yellow. If I need to, really clean my brush and just get a lot of yellow. And then I'm going to get some white. I'm going to get this very light color. I'm going to put some here and there. Okay. See where I'm putting it? I'm sort of highlighting some of that space that might have seen a highlight from the moon. You can always take it out. You get too much, you get a little crazy, you do something you don't like. Now, one little tip is don't try to paint stuff that you don't know what it looks like really, really, really well. If you can't remember what a pumpkin looks like, you've got a smartphone, you have a tablet, you've got a computer, you got something because you're on YouTube painting with me. Look it up! Look it up! Look up a pumpkin! Look up a pumpkin and then use that for your inspiration. Now I'm going to make some stems. Okay? I'm going to make some stems. This is a little darker than the last one I did, but I'm loving it. We went a little darker. We went a little more odd Tim Burton-y, kind of darker into the forest. A little less Disney. I'm going to make a little stem. I'm going to curve. That's all it is, like a little comma. Comma, comma. And I'm making a little one down here. Black and brown. Okay. And then also going to very carefully make some little vines. Alright, that's what I'm going to do there. And then I'm going to get some white and yellow here. I'm going to make a highlight, white and yellow. Yeah, a lot of color mixing on this, guys. A highlight on my stem. Make a highlight on my vine. Alright, so we got that. It's looking good. Okay, arms. Black and a little bit of brown, but mostly black. I'm going to come here and make kind of like a little pocket, a little round shape. I'm going to come down about, ooh, 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And then I'm going to angle. Bend in the joint. And 2 little fingers up, which are like little commas. I'm going to come here. Little arm coming out, little arm going up. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to come over here and get some yellow and some white. And I'm going to, on the inside edge, because of the moon, right? I'm going to line my little stick, letting the black still show. A little bit of this highlight. Catch the top of the fingers. Seriously, that's all that it is. It looks so complicated. You're going to be so impressed with your delicate, twiggly nature. Alright. And here is the trick too. We got some more tricks happening. We're almost down to the spider web, which is our finishing thing, but we got to put in some grass. Alright? Because we need that layering. We need the layering effect, you know, happening here. So the first color we're going to make is a dark color. And we're going to get our brown, and we're going to get our green, and we're going to make a very, very dark green. If you need to grab some black, grab some black. Make a very, very dark green. Make sure you don't have your brush overloaded. And we're going to come in a couple of places around here. We're going to make some little grass. We learned it back here. We're just doing it again. You guys are pros. We're going to add a little detail where I show you how to make the little grass tops that look like blooming grass. Right? So now all of a sudden you're creating some depth. Right? Now a couple of these, it'd be nice. They went up high. Like that. Okay. Into the root we need some grass. Little patches of grass. Okay. Right here in the crook. Little patch of grass right here in the crook. And then give me some long bent, thin fine lines in the dark green. And then another one, and another one. And then at the edge here, okay, the edge here, on the tip of your brush, you can go dot, 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 dot. You need to come here. Dot, 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 dot. Okay. Dot, 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 dot. Give yourself some more little bits. Some textures here, like there's grass. I want another little bit right here. Yes. Okay, now get some white paint. Make a highlight. Get some yellow. Make a highlight. You're going to come in here. You're going to highlight this grass. Very lightly. Look at that. Suddenly, these pumpkins are sitting in this sort of little grassy area, aren't they? That's extraordinary. Okay, I still want a nice dark shadow under them, so make sure that when you're lighting it up that they still have this sort of, there is some darkness under here, and we'll come back and we'll add some highlight. But you do want that. I lost mine, so I had to put mine back. Now I'll come back in and go, but you know, here's some highlight. Then I'm going to highlight my little grass blade here very carefully and go dot, 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 dot. Highlight its little bloom. Dot, 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 dot. Okay. And that is really important. Highlight this little patch. Highlight that little patch. That little patch needs a highlight. This gets to be a little fun, and this is where you can kind of just lose your mind. So, nice curve, dot, 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 dot. Curve, dot, 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 dot. So that's some nice grass happening, and it's a nice little grass there. And so now you have this nice grass, and you get to do the spider web. Okay, and actually I see sometimes you get to your studio and you're missing something. I need one of my detail brushes, so I don't know, my husband will do something interesting. And when we get that, I am back with the number 4 detail brush. Detail. Okay, let's see if we'll do this. Focus. There it is, detail brush. Detail. Alright. I'm going to get some white paint, just white, and I'm going to load it on the tip of my brush. Now, one of my tricks, if you watch me here, is I'll get some out, and maybe it's heavy body paint I'm painting with, and so it's a little gloppy. Another trick I can do is sort of spray my white paint at this stage, because it's okay if my palette is a little over wet, and just get some on my tip. Okay? Because that's what I'm doing, I'm going to get some on my tip. Alright, now what I'm going to do, so you make sure you can see this, is I'm going to make, in the center here, I'm going to make a little dot. Okay? And then I'm going to run it to the branch. Dot, 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 dot. That's it! Come over, start, don't, on the same dot, I'm over a little bit, dot, 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 dot. Trust me. Tired, I get it. Wait and do the spider web. People love the spider web. They want the spider web. Being able to do a spider web in your paintings, in your crafts, in your creative space, it's awesome. It's awesome. Okay, we're going to come out here to this little branch. Dot, 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 dot. So that has to end at that branch. I can put another little run here between them if I'd like to, and obviously I do because I'm going to. Now my next web has to come to that branch. My spider has to have something to connect its web to. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to go dot, 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 dot. These are very light dots. Again, my world is full of angry, overly bathed cats who want to get us, and so we have to be careful. Okay, I'm going to come down here, dot, 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 dot. By now, the radial of your spider's web should be appearing to you. Alright, look at that. Love this piece. This has really been a lot of fun to design for you, a lot of fun to get ready for. I really like what I get to do here. You will maybe notice that I have not run ads on my videos, and that I might be telling you about what I buy, but I'm not hawking wares right now. What you can do for me is to pass it on to your friends, to spread the word, to subscribe, go to Pinterest, follow stuff, become a artist, and paint along with me. That's the best way that right now you can support me in this goal. And then hopefully over time we'll get more followers and the movement will grow, and I'll figure out ways to monetize this that just don't necessarily have to come out of your pocket. That's the goal. Hopefully that's achievable. You know, I'm like that in the video games too. I really don't like, it's very important to me never to rip people off or be usurious of people. You know, you've got players and they love you, you gotta be loyal to them. You should monetize, but, you know, you gotta be a reasonable person. Alright, so I've got my web in, all the radial spikes are out, and you're like, okay, now what? Well, now we just do the interior dots, which is to come around, and the trick I do is a slight U. These dots are smaller than my outer dots. Keep reloading the brush if you need to. Light pressure. And that's how this is done. And it's a ton of fun. It can take a minute to get a spider web. I've got an upcoming painting that if you have these two skills down, you're gonna die. It's called Webbed Heart, and you're gonna freak out when you see it.
Now, I will probably start doing more hands-on on all of this.
You can hear my husband conducting business in the back. Please come on, he helped us with this. I have this ball of frozen drink in here. So good. Hibiscus tea is insane, man, you guys. It just is really good. Oh my gosh. Here we go. We've done it. Look at that. Woo! Oh yeah. Do the dance. Do the we did it dance. Woo! Painting is done. So it's really good. I really love it. I'm really proud of it. Here's what I want for you to do. Keep painting. Work on your art skills. Do it a lot. Make it a part of your life. Help it lower your blood pressure. Maybe be a little more optimistic about the world you're living in. I'm going to keep making videos. You spread the word so I can keep doing that effectively. You know, click, comment, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. I am really happy with this. I hope you're really happy with this. You know, enjoy. And I want to see you at this easel again really soon for the next painting. Bye-bye.